This week's Toastface Podcast Top 50 Movie List Drinking Game is brought to you by the word yak. Yak. Whether you're speaking of the cognac, vomit, or you're just speaking of the large domesticated wild ox from Tibet, the word yak gets it done for you. This week's drinking game is whenever Monica makes a barfing sound, take a drink. That's right. Whenever Monica indicates that she is barfing or she is making a barfing sound, go ahead and drink up. Enjoy. And rejoice responsibly.
What? I'm trying to figure out which direction things go. Okay, I think
I'm trying
I
to point myself to look at you.
What? Hi.
Hi.
You're cute.
You're cute.
Toastface Podcast.
Toastface.
Toastface
We're gonna
Podcast.
pod some cast.
Toastface
We're gonna
Podcast.
toast some face.
Toastface
We're
Podcast.
gonna pod some cast out.
Welcome to the Toastface Podcast. My name is Topher Owen.
Woo! The end.
That was quick. That was Monica Owen. She's my wife.
I am.
And this is the Toastface Toastface Podcast Top 50 Movie List. This is the podcast where we talk about movies, specifically the top 50 movies that we would like to watch each and every day. This podcast was inspired by Craigslist, which is another podcast created by Craig and Carla Kakowski. Go out and find that. It's super good, and we love it. It inspired us to make our own podcast. And on this podcast, we talk about movies, and we're going to talk about them as if you've seen them before.
We're gonna ruin them.
We're going to give out a lot of spoilers.
Spoil them to death.
Yeah, we really are. So last week, we watched my number 48 movie, which is Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. Oh,
Not to be confused with The Life of Brian.
yes. I guess before we get into that, though, we should do some clarifications.
Toastface clarifications.
Clarification.
It's a pretty badass theme song that we've got for clarifications. My God, makes me want to jam. Jam!
Do, 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 do. Jam.
I fucking love that. All right. Here are the clarifications from last week.
Go.
We have stumbled over the name of this podcast, and the clarification is this podcast name is the Toastface Podcast Top 50 Movie List. That is the official name of the podcast.
Fantastic.
And that also allows us to just do a Toastface podcast where we're not talking about movies. We can do whatever we want to.
Okay.
Second clarification.
Number 2.
At one point, we called the movie Unbroken. The movie we were referencing is called Unbreakable. Unbroken is that movie where that guy holds that railroad tie above his head. Angelina Jolie directed it.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, I don't think you have.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Last week, we gave out spoilers for the movie we watched, Split,
As well as
a movie we didn't watch, The Sixth Sense. We say that there will be spoilers, and the clarification is what we mean is there will be spoilers for all movies.
all of them.
Every single movie you've never watched, we're going to spoil them.
Root.
Monica said there was a lot of bush in The Meaning of Life.
0.
The clarification is there's no bush in The Meaning of Life.
Just lots of boobs.
And finally, we have continued to quote The Witch, The Vavitch, ever since we watched it, which was my number 50 movie.
Correct.
And the quote that we have said is, "Would you like to live deliciously?" That is incorrect.
It's not right, people.
The correct quote is,
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
was beautiful, babe.
That's the correct quote. And that's clarifications.
The end.
All right. Moving on to the meaning of life.
Meaning of life. It's so pleasant.
I love this movie. Obviously, it's on my list. And it's tough for me to say which Python movie I like the most.
They're all pretty fun.
They are all fantastic movies. I really like them all quite a bit. And a lot of people think that they have only released 3 movies. Their first movie was And Now for Something Completely Different, which is just a collection of sketches that they did while they were on Flying Circus. And they released them for American audiences who hadn't seen Flying Circus before. So a lot of people don't really consider that to be a Monty Python movie. Yeah. And the first one would be Holy Grail, and the second one would be Life of Brian, and the third one would be the Meaning of Life,
which a little bit went back to a sketch type format.
Yeah, for sure. They went back to that sketch format that made them popular, which I love. I love their sketches. I think I love sketch comedy in general.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I do. I love sketch comedy, and I think that's one of the reasons why I like this movie so much. I think there's so many possibilities in sketch comedy. You can make it a through line if you want to. They stuck those fish sequences in there to kind of connect the scenes. But you don't have to. You can just say something weird and random and have it flow into the next scene. And that's so great.
They can do that. No, I don't know if everybody can do that.
No. They're definitely skilled at what they do. So, Monica, did you like this movie?
Topher, yes. Yes, I did. I enjoyed this movie, even though it wasn't the movie that I thought it was. I often get them mixed up, Meaning of Life and Life of Brian.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But yes, I like it very much. I think we all know from our last podcast that your favorite scene in the movie is the random... What would it call?
Welcome to the middle of the film.
No, actually, I was going to say, well, maybe, but I can't remember if that's connected to what I'm about to say. The one with the guy with the crazy long arms.
Yeah, that's the setup for the scene with the guy with the crazy long
drag
arms.
queen. And he went, whatever I did go.
The way they get into it is they're at the war in Zulu, and a Zulu warrior comes out and unzips himself, revealing somebody, and he says, "Welcome to the middle of the film."
That's the tiger part, though, right?
Yeah,
because it's the end of the
that's
tiger
getting
part.
Out of the tiger part.
Gotcha.
Going into that middle random part that we're talking about now.
So I think that's your favorite scene in the movie. Do you have a guess what my favorite scene might be?
Well, my gut reaction is to say the barfing scene, but I know that that's your least favorite scene.
I hate that scene.
Yes.
I can hardly watch that scene.
Yeah, a lot of people hate that scene.
It's very terrible.
You are not alone. What your favorite scene is in the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Well, it's not that scene, and it's not the weird scene. Probably not the Zulu scene. How about the British couple after Every Sperm is Sacred? And they're talking about sex.
Oh.
We could have sex whenever we want because we are Protestant.
But they don't. Yeah, no, it's not that one. It's the Every Sperm is Sacred.
Is it the Every Sperm is Sacred?
Every sperm is sacred. Yes, that's my favorite. It's so silly.
That song.
Such a huge song and dance number.
Yeah.
So
It's so good.
so silly and true.
That song was nominated for a British Academy Award for Best Song. I can't remember. I think it's BAFTA.
It can't win because it says sperm.
It did not win.
Discrimination.
It lost to Up Where We Belong. Love us up where we belong. Where the sperm cries.
Oh, no.
That was the original lyric. No.
Oh, but they changed it so they could win.
So they could win, yeah.
I got
It's
you. I
a
followed
big
that
coup.
one.
It's a big coup. Yeah, that scene is a lot of people's favorite scene, and this movie was not reviewed very...
was refreshing. Sorry. I'm very sorry that my refreshment interrupted you.
Monica just took a drink of her water silently, but then enjoyed it on her microphone.
Sorry. I don't know how to do things.
That was hysterical. This movie was not as favorably reviewed as their other two movies, The Holy Grail or The Life of Brian. And the scenes that were picked out as being noteworthy are the vomiting scene for avoid this movie at all costs, and then every sperm is sacred scene, which is generally considered a
Go see
wonderful
this
scene.
movie.
Yeah. And it's just amazing. It's the production value is of that one scene is
Huge.
Huge.
That was no CGI going on. Those were real people.
real people dancing on real roofs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those children saying sperm
Yeah.
and,
Well,
and other things.
That was part of it. Is that at one point Michael Palin is in a room full of children, and he
His
says,
children.
and he says, well, if the church would let me wear one of those little rubber things on the end of my cock.
Mm-hmm.
And in the actual filming of that scene, he says, on the end of my sock. So that he doesn't say cock in front of all those children. And it turns out that most of those kids had no idea what they were singing about. Just no clue as to the content of that scene.
That's really funny.
And they shot it in such a way to prevent them from being influenced in a negative way. You know, because sperm is negative. I don't get that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
But I guess that's part of the beauty of that scene and what they're trying to say there.
Yeah.
Some, I can't remember anymore, some churches held up that scene as a defense of their beliefs of absolutely every sperm is sacred. And some churches
Wow.
have held up that scene as a defense of their beliefs, as in, no, every sperm is not sacred.
This is ridiculous.
So it's I think that's one of my biggest enjoyment of Python is that they get to the truth of the matter so that it doesn't really answer a question. It just presents it in a truthful manner so that everyone can say, yes, that is the truth, and they're still funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those guys. Smart and funny.
Yeah, they truly are. This was the last movie that they made before Graham Chapman died,
Poor Graham.
which was sad. And they haven't made a movie as Monty Python since. In
That's
fact,
sad.
I feel like they said that Monty Python is no more because without Graham, it just wouldn't be the same. And that's
I
certainly the
understand
truth.
that.
I mean, those guys, all of them, I feel like had a place in the group and were very special to the group. And without them, it suffers.
Yeah.
John Cleese was not in the final season of Flying Circus, and you can really feel his absence.
Yeah.
So, anyway, this is a fun movie, and
It's very fun.
it's really great.
so silly.
Really, really great. There's too much to quote in it, so I won't do any.
Okie dokie.
I sure do like that middle randomness. It tickles right at my funny bones.
Yeah, you like the super out of the blue,
I kind of do, yeah.
bizarre stuff.
Yeah. And it's not
I
all
use sometimes, but not all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not always the out of the blue stuff. Sometimes the out of the blue stuff I'm like, I don't follow you. I'm not on board with all of this craziness, but that one for some reason,
Yeah.
just the minute it happens, I'm like, yes, I'm on board with that. I get it and I want it. I'm there. And the crazy, and it went wherever I did go. I think maybe part of it is, again, my enjoyment of music and song.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole section has a beautiful song quality to it.
Yeah.
So, would you like to try Toastface Theater with me?
Sure.
Good. So we did it last week, and last week was really, really good, I thought. And this one's kind of hard to do because it's sketch comedy. So we did you have a scene that you can remember that you might like to do for this
That's very cute that you would ask me that.
Toastface Theater?
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
Well, how about the Mr. Creosote scene, the barfing scene?
Why? Why would you even say that? You know I hate that one.
I do. I couldn't tell if you had made a joke when you suggested that we did that scene.
Did I suggested that?
You did.
Why would I do such a thing?
I had brought it up to you, and I was like, "Oh my God, how are we going to do a scene from this movie?" And because there's so many random scenes, and which one do you remember? And very definitively, you were like, the barfing scene.
Well, that's the one I remember. I'm not necessarily saying, "Oh, let's do that one."
Oh, so you don't want to do the barfing scene?
I don't want to do the barfing scene.
Okay.
I just said no to you, babe.
Oh, well, that's fine.
We're supposed to be improvising.
Yes.
There's no room for no. There's no in improvising.
Well, golly. So the barfing scene is out.
Had you prepared for the barfing scene?
Well, I hadn't thought about it anymore because I thought that was the one we were going to do.
Well, go for it. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
I said yes.
You're going to be Mr. Creosote.
Is that the barfing guy?
Yeah? Or should I be the barfing guy?
I'll be the barfing guy.
I can be the barfing guy.
That's fine. That's so fine.
Okay, so you be the barfing guy, and I will be the waiter.
I'm here. Give me a bucket.
Oh, welcome, monsieur. One bucket for monsieur, coming right up. There's your bucket. Oh, such good vomit you
I
have.
need another bucket.
Oh, here's another bucket for monsieur.
I want another bucket. I want a bucket on my right and a bucket on my left. And
One-
then I want a bucket in my front.
Oh, we need 3 buckets for monsieur. We did not even get the bucket.
You need a bigger bucket.
Bigger bucket for monsieur. Monsieur. Monsieur, you have such jovial vomits. You are barfing through laughter. It's
Bring me my food.
Ah, yes. Food for monsieur.
2 more buckets.
2 more buckets, yes. Oh, I have stepped in the bucket. He's okay, he's okay. Here is your food. And and here are here are 3 more buckets for monsieur. Monsieur, may I offer you an after-dinner mint?
No, I'm so full I can't possibly eat anything else. I'm gonna burst.
Oh, monsieur,
No.
it's only
No.
wafer thin.
What if I said you're wafer thin?
You would be so correct. Monsieur, maybe I should just leave it on the tip of your tongue.
Of my dung?
Yes. Monsieur.
I guess that's one way to absorb it.
Here you go, monsieur. Oh, wafer thin mint. Heads up, monsieur is going to blow. And scene. I don't know if you guys had any fun with that, but we had a blast. That was hysterical.
Now I wish every movie had a vomit scene.
Yeah. You were amazing. You were amazing.
All it takes is saying yes, people.
Sometimes that can be really hard. Sometimes it can be really hard. Oh, that was wonderful. So, any final words about the meaning of life?
I really enjoyed it. I like everything they have to say. It's a great little film. Go watch it.
Good. I'm glad that you did like it.
You can't really spoil that one.
Not really, no.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah. All right. It's sort of like being able to spoil a piece of music. You can't really spoil a piece of music.
No. It was lovely.
It was lovely. All right, so moving on. I guess we're at number 47.
Whoa.
Right?
We just jumped up the list there. Yes, 47.
All right, and we're going back to you now. So what's your number 47
you're
movie?
going to be so excited.
Okay.
It's a delightful rom-com.
Oh boy.
A little foreign film called The Raid.
The Raid.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I'm not sure there are any rom-coms on my list. I'm not really a rom-com girl.
Once we get into the 20s, my 20s are pretty populated with rom-coms.
I'm not surprised by that.
They're not. I shouldn't say that. They might be. But for next week, we're going to be talking about The Raid. So you guys go off and watch The Raid.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it. Or if you have, watch it again.
Yeah,
Check it out.
absolutely. Watch
It's a
it
fun
with
ride.
us. Watch it with us. Hey, anytime we mention a movie, go and watch it with us. Be here with us.
They needed our permission. I'm glad we gave it to them.
And if you would like to contact us, you can contact us at toph, T-O-P-H, and mon, M-O-N, at gmail.com. That's how we will get your emails. So, until next time, the end.
Toastface
We're
Podcast.
gonna toast some face.
Toastface
We're
Podcast.
gonna pod some cast.
Toastface.
We're gonna toast some face.